Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those of you on Instagram, we just a little late for y'all. We had to use a different mechanism tonight for y'all. Give me one more. There's somebody we haven't sent a package to.
Who?
Jay Bishop, $70 worth.
That was one of the last packages I sent out. Remember I
Okay.
sent out a 7 and a 10.
I just got a message from PayPal.
You do all your commercials too?
Most of them, yeah.
Mm. Oh man, you have to have cash.
That commercial went viral.
I bet you it did. People probably jumped over their TV and started running with it. I bet it did go viral. Shoot.
How's your wife, man?
I mean, there's a snake, but she's on.
Means
That wasn't on there.
she the only somebody can handle you.
No, she doing good.
Okay.
Yeah, she doing good. She's retired now.
Oh, okay.
She's retired.
And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. And my guest tonight is the High Sheriff of Shelby County, the Honorable Floyd Bond. Floyd, this is the first time on the show as the sheriff.
As the sheriff.
He was here quite a few times during the election season on last year. Now that you've taken the job, you were second in command for a period of time. How does it feel to have the whole burden of the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, the Shelby County Jail, and even juvenile court on your shoulders?
Well, that is, as you said, as second in command, being the chief deputy for 2 years, 2.5 years, it was really already there.
Okay,
But,
okay.
when you're second in command, you always can put it on the number one guy. So,
Okay.
So right now, I can't put it on the number one guy because I'm very appreciative of the voters of Memphis and Shelby County to give me this opportunity to be elected as sheriff of Shelby County. So first 4 months been extremely busy. We kind of retooled our staff a little bit. We're still looking at some things. We were talking a little bit off air. One of the things we just got accomplished this past weekend, we received accreditation awards for our jail downtown and juvenile court and jail lease. And this is not an easy feat. I have to give kudos to the jail staff. This was a tremendous undertaking, something that we've done before.
But what
we
is
got
the accreditation all about?
Well, it's best practices. You know,
Okay.
you have standards that the American Correctional Association come up with.
Okay.
These are best practices, and what they do is they send in auditors to your facilities,
Mm-hmm.
and they look at it and see if you're doing what you say you're doing, and then you have to prove that you're saying it. You have to
Okay.
have the documentation. It's a long process to prepare for as well as live it.
Okay.
Because you can't just come up with documentation at the last moment and try to say that, well, we've been doing this all along.
Okay.
They go back and they look in files, they look at our medical group, they look at our officers, they talk to officers, they talk to inmates. Believe it or not, we even had some inmates. One of the assessors told me that he was very surprised that one of the inmates that they talked to gave us high marks, saying that we run a very professional jail.
This is a good place to be. This is.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah,
know,
I'm aware, yeah.
But but when you got inmates that are willing to step up and say that, that the officers are professionals, that they're treated the right way, they're fed the right way, they've given opportunities and stuff, it makes you proud. I certainly was proud to receive that award, proud for the workers that work down at the jail, who just so much, Thaddeus, just don't get credit for a tough job.
As the highest ranking law enforcement officer in the county, what is the goal of Floyd Bonner as far as law enforcement is concerned in Shelby County?
Well, I think first and foremost priority is keeping everyone safe in Memphis and Shelby County, doing what we can do to achieve that goal. Then secondly, the jail is a huge component of being the sheriff, maintaining that jail, and the 3 correctional facilities that we operate, making sure that they're ran properly, that people are treated with respect. I mean, everybody can have a little hiccup and go to jail, as you know.
As I know, yeah. Thank you, Sheriff.
Everybody can have that little hiccup and come to jail, but to be treated with respect and following the law and trying to do things the right way is what I've impressed upon my staff. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
As one who has had a hiccup and has visited your facilities downtown, if you are not, let's say, one of the people that's in the loop, or you know someone, the processing of a person being arrested can take 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Then, when you pay your bond, or you're released through the court systems, it can take you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours to get out of jail. Why is the process of being processed in and processed out so long?
And that's something that we've been working on a lot here the last few months since I've been elected, looking at that process. The Shelby County government has received, or Shelby County Sheriff's Office has received a grant from the Annie Casey Foundation that's trying to help us with that task, with that chore. Why does it take so long? And so we're looking with all of our criminal justice partners. We're looking at pre-trial, the judges when they set bonds, the magistrates that set bonds, just the entire process. Because as you know, we have more inmates than I wish that was in the 201 popper. So, right now our challenges is to move them through expeditiously as possible, get them out just as fast as possible. But better still, even looking at ways to keep people from coming to jail.
Sure.
We've just instituted a new misdemeanor citation policy. If you ever received it, maybe some of your listeners may know what I'm talking about, that when you get a misdemeanor citation from an officer,
Sure.
they would give you 2 different dates. They would
Okay.
give you a date to come down and be processed, then they would give you another court date. Well, what we were finding was that a lot of people were getting failure to appear warrants because they were getting the dates mixed up.
Okay.
They wouldn't come down and get processed, and then the judge would be upset about it, and that would lead on to other charges. So,
Mhm,
so what we're doing now is you only get one date. So when you come down, you get processed, and you see the judge on that date. So that's cut down on a lot of.
When did that start?
It just started here in the last, starting in October, I think. is what
So
that was.
when you get a misdemeanor citation now,
Mhm.
you still have to come to the jail and go through the processing area.
No, you don't,
You don't have to go to the same old spot anymore?
You don't have to go through like the old R&I, for instance, if you were caught out, in the streets and, driving on a revoked driver's
Mm-hmm.
license, the officer will write you a misdemeanor citation,
Right.
and he would give you one date to come down to court. Instead of giving you 2 dates, one date to
Right.
go get processed, get your fingerprints and your
Right,
picture
right,
made,
right.
then 2 weeks later, come back to court. And we were finding that a lot of people so many people were getting those dates mixed up.
Okay,
And, then they would get failure to appear warrants. And so, and that's just another way of clogging up the system, bogging down the system and stuff. So, this is one of the things that we've just recently come up with to, hopefully, kind of unclog that little part of the system. But again, evaluating what we do, how we do. I even have a jail population manager. Someone that looks at jail, look at how long people have been in jail, and if there's something that we can do to help that person get out of jail. Get them in front of a judge, talk to the public defender's office. Naturally, we don't set the bonds.
Sure.
The judges do, but we might be able to have a conversation and say, Judge, maybe we need to take a second look at this one.
okay,
And maybe try to get that bond reduced. We have people, one of the biggest things that we have in our jail are the mental consumers. We don't talk about mental health enough
okay.
here in this county or even across the state. I've been involved in some meetings since I've been sheriff with the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, where mental health issues are coming up very much so, because it's so draining on all the sheriff's resources across the state in transporting or trying to find beds for people that should not be institutionalized, but should be somewhere in a mental hospital.
So what do you do, Sheriff, when a person comes into the jail who is not faking a mental condition? There's a history of mental illness, even the mental meds. What do you do with that, as you call a consumer? What do you do with that individual? Is he placed into the general population?
No. We have a separate housing unit, that we house, our mental consumers.
In the 201 building?
In the 201 building. We have a
Okay.
separate place for them. However, our medical, I will share this with you,
Uh-huh.
that our medical contract is coming up. And some of the county commissioners have already been asking that we look for the next medical provider to provide us mental health beds
Okay.
away from 201. Now, naturally, I don't know how many consumers we have at 201, but this is something that's taxing us as well as the penal farm. But hopefully, the next contract that we have with the medical provider, that provider will also be able to provide mental health beds.
Is the penal farm under you as well?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Okay, pre-trial,
Mhm.
is pre-trial under your department?
No, it's under the mayor's office.
It's under the mayor's
Yes,
office.
sir.
They work in the jail.
Mhm.
So is there some type of plan where maybe pre-trial can work a little bit faster? Because, and I know, like on the weekend, you're gonna have a lot of rotation in
Right.
and out of the jail. But is there something that can be done that speeds you up? Because everybody has to go through pre-trial, even if you have your bail money
Right.
ready. You can walk in, I got my bonding money, you still can't get out until you go through
Right.
pre-trial. So is there any plans to speed up the pre-trial process?
Well, there's plans to speed up the entire
Okay,
process.
okay.
And I would like to share with you on that part of it. I know exactly what you're talking about, but even when we have our meetings with all of our law enforcement partners, we actually look at down to the minutes.
Okay.
How long it takes each component of this process. How long does it take you to get yours prepared? Now, you know, when computers go down, computers go down.
Like that madness we had, was it year before last?
Yeah, a few years ago.
Okay.
Well, actually, the computers didn't go down, is when the county went to a new system.
Right.
That threw everybody off, and it took so long to be able to get anybody out of jail, or for us to even be sure that we had the right amount of people in jail. I can remember us going inmate by inmate and making sure that we had the right people still in jail and the right people out of jail.
Okay.
Because we did have a gentleman that was there for 10 days
Uh-huh.
longer than what he should have when the computer system was brand new.
Right.
So, I'm happy to report here, about a month ago, I was in a meeting, and, they finally told me that, they have just gotten these new computer systems to where it will put out the reports.
Okay.
Or provide the reports that pretrial and the other law enforcement partners in this circle, the judges and so on and so forth, the clerk's office, provide the reports that's needed to really evaluate what's going on and why that system, why is it taking so long to get people out of jail? Even, and like you said, once you make your bond, it still could take another 6 or 7 hours just to process you out. But it's so many moving parts, so many people that have to touch these different pieces of paper, trying to figure out a way how to cut down even on that, you know, because trust me, first of all, I don't want to see anyone go to jail, but I certainly want to get you out of there as fast as I can to alleviate the overcrowdedness that we're experiencing right now.
So is the jail overcrowded?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say overcrowded to the extent that we have more inmates than what we would like to see there. We sit at usually about 2,700. And, if I had my rathers, we'd be down to about 22 or 21. So now, we have beds for everyone, and sometimes we get, so overcrowded that it just bogs down the system. I mean, there are beds, but still, it's about safety and safety for the staff.
Okay.
You know, dealing with that many people under one roof, and, you know, all the different personalities, then you take into account the mental aspect, the mental consumer that's there that has to have that extra care, that extra attention, if you will, to provide for. So, if in a perfect world, I would say if we were sitting at 21 to 2,200, I would just be elated. You know, I have 92 juveniles at the detention center at juvenile court. Then I have another 30 to 35 kids out at jail lease that's been adjudicated as adults, and approximately 300
Okay.
women now.
Okay, now, so the juveniles who have been found to be tried as adults, they're kept at jail lease?
They're kept at jail lease until they turn 18. And once they turn 18, then we move them to 201, if they don't make their bond prior to that.
Okay. And how many females do you have at jail lease?
Approximately about 300 right now.
Okay, okay.
The women are being slow about making bond. They'd rather do their sentence. You know, it's a different mindset.
Women rather stay in jail?
Yeah, they'd rather stay in jail and do the time, because you believe it or not, you even hear that with some of the men. I'll stay there and do my time, so I'm not on paper. You know, so, you know, now.
I ain't not gonna stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you and I probably can't understand that, but you'd be surprised at how many people will say that, you know, no, I don't wanna be out released, I don't wanna be on paper, I don't wanna have to promote,
Report to,
a probation officer. You know, I'll just stay here and flatten my time out, and then when I'm out, I'm out. So, but
Not
you know,
me.
you get 3 meals, and you got a roof over your head, and.
unless y'all have changed the menu from the last time I was there, you know, the little bag you get with the little apple in it, little small bag, potato chips. What else you got in
Oh, good sandwich.
there? Man, I remember the first time I went, and I asked for, it was the first time I ever went, and they handed me this little sandwich. And I asked for some mustard and,
You wanted some condiments.
yeah, but, it's nothing, but, one of the things that I did learn the time that I went was that there are people who are comfortable
Sure.
in the, they come in, hey, it's like a reunion.
Old home week.
Yeah, you know all the jailers, you see all your friends there, and I go sit over by my little self, cause you get a little rally, and then they stop your phone, cause I don't want to go no further than that first little door you get in there, where all the little seats at.
Right, intake.
I don't want to go to the dress out area.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I knew a guy when I first came on sheriff's office.
Uh-huh.
He was a roofer.
Okay.
So he wouldn't pay his child support bill in the wintertime.
So he had a place to stay?
So he'd have a place to stay, because he couldn't do roof during the wintertime, so he wouldn't pay his child support. Now, he had the money, but what it cost him to be out on the streets, he couldn't afford all that. So he'd have his bond money ready to go in the spring, so when the weather would break, and he could roof houses again, somebody bond him out, and, you wouldn't see him again till the next winter. That's a true story.
But you have to have a particular mindset to do that. You to stay there. It's when you pour into the salad pool,
Right.
you're in jail. You go and stand at that little window, they look at you.
See, I
Make
wasn't
sure-
gonna tell everybody, but see, making sure that everybody know you know exactly what's going on.
I've been there. I mean, see, look.
See, I just gave them a little bit.
Look,
She
there,
told the whole
there's,
story.
my story is an open book. Everybody know I've been in jail. And you stand there, that's when they take your little handcuffs off and let you walk through the little door and gotta go through another window. And then that searching process, gotta take your drawers off and everything when you in jail then. But the comfort I always had was I know I'm gonna go. Or
You know what I thought you was gonna say?
What?
That you were seen by a doctor.
or you gotta go through that too.
I know.
You have to go through the medical people. My bond, I paid my bond was paid before I went in. I said, I don't need to see no doctor. I'm all right. Okay. Only time my blood pressure's up is when I'm in here with y'all. So, I had to you gotta wait to go to the doctor. And I think everyone that comes in has to be seen,
Sure.
has to be seen by a doctor.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then you gotta wait on the doctor, you gotta wait on pre-trial, and then you gotta wait for them to say you can go. So it's a long process, and I'm hopeful, Sheriff, and I have no plans of coming back down and visit your fine facilities, because I can't give you the accreditation points that you want. But I'm hopeful that for a lot of people, that the process does
Sure.
speed up. All right, my guest is the sheriff of Shelby County, Floyd Bonner. I'm gonna open the phones in just a little bit, but I wanna talk about, when we come back from the break, the number of police, or sheriff's officers that are on the streets, the incorporated areas, and the powers of the sheriff's department. We'll be back right after these commercial messages.
We Facebook Live?
Yeah. On your page. And you go in,
So in other words, you gotta be nice doing commercial work. You gotta be nice doing commercial.
I'm not usually nice doing commercial work, but see that I got you here. And you got your audience there. Maybe I'll pick up a few fans.
Yeah, some new videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't stay there, I got the little bag the last time I was there. I told the guy over there, man, you want this? I can't eat this.
So-
Do you remember when y'all used to make your own peanut butter?
Yeah, yeah. I worked out in the Bailiff farm, when I first, in 1980, where the Bailiff farm, was almost, wasn't quite self-sufficient. But,
Okay.
they had those chicken house out there, they killed their
Really?
own chickens, and, man, there was some of the ugliest chicken meat you ever want to look at, man. It was-
Did y'all fry it?
Yeah, they cooked it, they fried it, they baked it, and they served it to the inmates.
So they had chicken every day?
But no, not every day, but some days.
Excuse me, are you playing Mr. Sam tonight?
Uh-uh.
And what about that other one?
Courtney?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably get in there. But that other one, you can take him out.
Okay. You working with me
We,
now,
we
right?
back. Oh. Y'all could've told me I was back. Okay. I didn't know, I just happened to look up.
You working with her now?
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're back. Thank you so very much.
Talk about 5 minutes, go back to another.
Okay. Sheriff, you have the entire county of Shelby, which encompasses how many actual miles, I guess, would say?
Oh, so I think Shelby County is over 700 square miles, I think.
Okay, so you've got all of these areas, all around Eads and
Yes.
Millington and all of those. How many cities are actually in the county? I know you got Collierville, you got Eads,
Then you got Lakeland, Arlington, you have, we said Millington, Germantown,
Okay,
Carterville.
okay. So how many actual officers are on the streets?
Right now, in Patrol Division, we're sitting at about 131 officers, I think is the number. About 131 officers that are out on patrol. These guys work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They're there. Just like if you lived inside the city limits and you
Uh-huh.
called the police, you called the sheriff's office in the unincorporated areas, and these guys are the guys and girls that would arrive at your home.
Now, when you talk about the unincorporated areas of Shelby County, you're talking about what areas?
Well, outside the city limits. Now, take into account, Millington has their own police department. So does Carterville, Bartlett, Germantown. They have their own police department. So
Okay.
anything that they don't patrol outside of their city limits, we're responsible for.
I know that there's a certain area even in East Memphis, along Hatch Cross Road,
Mhm.
that's unincorporated.
Right, right. And there's been a big talk about, the city giving back,
Okay.
some of the land that they, annexed.
Okay,
And they're
okay,
talking about de-annexing some area. It's like on Highway 64 along Grays Creek. The city just recently de-annexed, some homes there, and I think it was like about 164 houses.
okay.
Now, we're still talking about South Cordova, Windike, as well as South Wind. The city is, now that's not up to us. If they de-annex it, then we, the sheriff's office, will be responsible for patrolling that, providing police services for those areas. And that's gonna, it's gonna come with a price tag. I'm gonna have to have more officers, because when we had that area before, we didn't have the schools.
Okay, okay.
So when the city annexed those areas, which took away officers, out of the MPD, started patrolling those areas, but we picked up schools. We picked up the schools.
So you're still in the schools?
We're still in.
You're in every,
Not every school. We're in 28 schools.
you're in 28
Yes.
schools. You only have 100-some officers patrolling. And sometimes there is the illusion that you have as many officers on the street as MPD.
No, I wish I did.
When you talk about 24/7 patrolling, do you have really enough officers to get the job done?
Yeah, that is, I think we do. I mean, naturally, I would, well, maybe I should say no in case county commissioners are looking at
Okay,
the show today.
okay.
But we do, we provide, we take care of what we need out in patrol division. We have what we call data smart policing every Wednesday where we look at our numbers. Proud to say over the last 4 weeks, we've experienced almost an 18.5% lower in crime, reduction in crime. So we're doing good out in patrol division, but that's through the hard work of the many men and women in the department. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize as well is that the sheriff's office is a full service law enforcement agency. In other words, we have SWAT, we have K-9 units, we have narcotics, we have gang unit. We're doing fugitive, courts, patrol. So, we have the detective division, we have an internal affairs division. So, I mean, we are a full service law enforcement agency, and we have many moving parts. So,
Okay.
we stay busy. Would I like to hire some more? And I'll take the opportunity here, before in 2019, I hope to hire an additional 75 deputies.
Okay.
Sometime we'll start another class in April. I'm hoping to start that class April 11th. So if any of your viewers or know someone that might be interested in it, going to the Shelby County government webpage right now. You can apply right now to get into that April class, and we hope to run another class in the fall. And we're going to hire, hopefully this year, in the calendar year of 2019, an additional 90 correctional officers. So there's opportunities in the sheriff's office that we hope that people that are out with good records, that's looking for a job, a young person maybe looking for his first job right out of college or something, to take a look at the sheriff's office, and we're looking for a few good men and women.
Okay. You maintain every court room in the county?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, except for in the municipalities.
Okay,
like-
but in
Yeah.
the city of Memphis, the courthouses, 201 Poplar,
Right. Over in
Adams Street, Washington Street,
Yes, sir.
you all handle all of the security.
Yes, in the building, in the court buildings.
You probably have more security in the courts than you have guys on the street, don't you?
I do. I mean, courts is a major undertaking. When you start looking at criminal courts, general session in 201, and then when you start talking about the old courtroom building over there on Washington and
Okay.
where people are being sued for millions of dollars, divorces are occurring. It's a very volatile situation over there, and those officers again don't get very much credit as to what goes on there, but they maintain the safety of the public over there. And you could imagine some of the custody battles that occur, between the husband and the wife regarding their children. That's serious business. Our kids, that's serious business. And then when you're over there even being sued for millions of dollars, or your business partners beat you out of additional money. So there's a lot of times when tempers get heated. So they stay busy as well over there.
Last week, one of your officers was arrested and charged as a drug dealer or selling drugs.
No, he was attempting to buy.
He was attempting to buy drugs, okay, at the Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
Did you set up that operation, or how did you come into the knowledge that this particular deputy sheriff was a drug user?
Well, I won't go into all the
Sure you can,
gory
right.
details about it, but we did receive information that this young officer was looking for some pills, apparently.
It was oxycodone, I believe.
Pain pills, pain pills, the thing that the whole nation is dealing with. With the opiate crisis and stuff. Unfortunately, this young man had gotten hooked on these, and he was out trying to buy, and we found out about it, and we took care of it. No one's above the law, including us. And when we found out about it, it was with me finding out about it, within 24 hours, we had him in custody.
Okay,
So,
okay,
we
okay.
didn't let any grass grow under our feet on this. We take this very seriously. Certainly don't want any officers coming to work under the influence of any type of drugs, but unfortunately, the young man had a pain problem, and, I don't know what his doctors were or were not giving him or
Okay.
refused to give him
Okay,
anymore, but
okay.
he took to the streets to buy, and that's not what we do.
Would you consider yourself a firm administrator?
Well, I think so, Thaddeus. I think I'm firm, but I'm fair.
Okay.
I'll listen to my officers.
Okay.
And anyone can tell you that I have an open door policy with our correctional officers as well as our law enforcement. Now, there's a thing about chain of command, you know about
Sure.
that. You gotta do things the proper way. But, for me to sit down and talk to officers, I tell my officers all the time. I was just out at roll call out in Patrol Division, a couple of Fridays ago. If they see me at Walmart, I expect them to come up and speak to me,
Okay.
I want you to say hello.
Okay,
And, I'm not above all of that, man, I'm a kid out of Orange Mound, man, that by the grace of God made it through. And I just don't see myself as that. I wanna be approachable. Citizens come up to me all the time and talk to me. I'm so appreciative and humbled by some of the things that, people have said to me and congratulating me on the election, and just giving me that faith, and putting that faith in me to be the leader of this organization.
I noticed on your election night, and that the night that you won, there were as many white officers as there were black officers
Mhm.
that were saying Floyd Bonham is the man. I would see some of your guys, even before the election, after they had seen you on the show, that said, we appreciate you supporting the sheriff. He's the best man for the job. So is racism among the ranks in the sheriff's department, is it a major problem?
I don't think it's a major problem. Can I say it doesn't exist? I couldn't say that.
Sure.
I mean, I'd be foolish to say something like that. But obviously, for the Memphis citizens of Memphis and Shelby County to elect me the first African American
Yeah.
sheriff, it says a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
we may not be where we want to be, but we're certainly not where we used to be. So I just constantly thank people that, because I got white votes just like I got African American votes.
Okay.
And I'm certainly appreciative of everyone to give me this opportunity. But in the sheriff's office, we even look at that as we have a policy on race-based profiling.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
if we see where an officer is just only stopping all whites or all blacks, and we're getting complaints on that officer, we take a look at him. We take an annual, we look at that twice a year,
Okay.
to make sure that those.
So you look at all of the arrest records of officers, or?
We look at what those officers are doing.
Mhm.
We have it's really called a Pews report.
Okay.
PEW''S. It's an early warning system.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, and a matter of fact, I just got the recent report today, and I didn't have a chance to go through it. It'd be one of the things I'll do first thing in the morning. But it shows every officer with every offense,
Okay.
every action. Every officer gets points. For instance, if he has to use force to make an arrest, he gets 2 points for that. If he has an accident, he gets 2 points for that.
Is this taken away, or?
No, it's given to that officer, and what we look for is
Okay.
the magic number is 6.
Okay.
So when an officer gets to 6 points, then we're looking at, hey, what's going on with him?
Okay.
You go back, you look at all of his incidents, you look
Okay.
at what might be going on. Something could be going on at the house that could be causing this. He could be just a good aggressive officer that got these points, and if he did, that's fine. But it requires the supervisors to go back and look at these instances that he's gotten these points for,
Okay.
to make sure that we're doing it the right way, that he's doing it the right way. So it's an early warning system. A lot of times, it's just like anything, you know, you can kind of tell when somebody goes astray
Okay,
sometimes.
Okay.
So we're looking for those times and we're looking for those things.
all right, again, my guest is the sheriff of Shelby County, Floyd Bonner. When I come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines and allow you, the citizens of Shelby County, you have something you want to say to the sheriff, or if you have some questions that you would like to ask, you have some concerns. Now, the sheriff will not be able to talk about your personal situations, because he's not gonna have the records in front of him, and some things that he just can't talk about. It's just if you're on the investigation, well, I was mistreated in the jail, okay. He's not gonna have your paperwork here to know what your particular situation has to be. I had a guy who contacted me a couple of weeks ago, who told me on the front end he didn't really care for me. I've been one of your biggest critics, but he had a situation that occurred to him in the jail and wanted me to see what I could do about it. I said, well, hell, you already done told me you don't like me, so, but now you want me to inquire as to what's going on. Get yourself a lawyer and do your due diligence. You don't like me enough for me to go and do the research for you as well. But if you want to talk to the sheriff, you'll have the opportunity right after these commercial messages.
Sheriff, Ms. Ward.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great, please, thank you. Thank you so much. I had such a dry cough. I was down in New Orleans over the weekend, and, oh man, I felt miserable down there.
You want to see if it's working now? Or is it charging at all?
It's charging. I ain't gonna even worry about it,
Yeah.
but I don't wanna leave it again. Mention my girls.
Am I being nice, Officer Buckner?
You are.
Thank you.
I can keep filming.
Do what?
I can keep filming.
Uh-huh. Did you make any major changes in personnel?
Not major, you know, I did let a few people go, some administrative staff, a couple in the jail,
Okay.
some in law enforcement. I did just a few. The advantage of being a chief deputy, I had, I knew the people.
Okay. So there was no real learning curve?
No, no, no. It's a good thing.
First female African-American chief.
Yeah.
To what?
Made the first, well, we hadn't had an African-American female chief in, 30 years.
Really?
I made one, Rosalind Harrison,
Okay.
made her chief inspector.
Okay.
And, I think the last chief we had that was an African-American female was Chief Iris Jones, and gosh, man, she retired probably 30 years ago when I first came on.
So who's she under?
She's
Barksdale?
She was, when I came on, Barksdale was a sheriff, and, she was under Barksdale. And we hadn't had one since then, and, I was proud to promote, Rosalind to chief inspector. She's done a good job. She's worked hard. And she got a lot, she's kind of quiet too,
Okay.
A lot of people wanted to interview her, being the first one in so
Okay.
many years, and she was very humble, and I think she came out of Lauderdale Courts,
Okay,
so she
okay,
was,
okay.
like,
Okay.
who would ever thought the little girl out of Lauderdale Courts would have made it this far, but, and I understand what she means by that, but, she's over my internal affairs division now. She does a good job, really good job, no nonsense, Rosalind is straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Well, she's been there probably about 20-some years.
Oh, yeah, Rosalind's been there 28, 29 years.
Okay.
So, she's seen a lot. Cause I can remember when she first came on, she started off in narcotics and jumping grab.
Okay, yeah.
And that was a wild and willy time.
What's Jimmy's
And they get split up.
Pretty much, except when it's dragging right now. Y'all monitor both pages.
And all that venom started getting spit out for it.
Facebook.
And, we had.
Usually I have one on the screen, one on my phone, but it's like a small tablet here, so. A lot of times it's not much to do.
My daddy gave me a job.
Sometimes it's like overlap.
Okay.
Wow.
She got this action? That stayed on?
Yeah, but he didn't, it was before he got hired, he had an opportunity to take it again.
Okay, okay. Okay.
And it hurt my dad, so, man, I'm gonna call her, my dad, you don't call. You don't need to hit that.
But he's bitter about something.
I don't know, honestly, I don't know. That guy, he's, I don't even know if he's still, does he still live on this thing?
No, he didn't have a record. He was on a little thing, he was buying time and doing, me and him fell out, God, about 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I had a felony when I was like 28 years old.
Mhm.
And they didn't take my breathing rights from me. Okay?
Mhm.
He went, and me and him had that conversation about it. He went downstairs in the archives. No, he had his wife, his wife was working in that.
She still work up there?
Yeah, I think she said, I think she did.
Criminal court.
And tried to get me indicted. Because I wouldn't work with him in radio.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
And he never made it in radio. No. I think he took his, probation down.
Mhm.
If he's,
I don't even know if it's still there.
yeah, well, I think if it is, it's bare minimum, because he got out with some of these judges. And how you think you're gonna say probation is released all over?
Talking about Judge Black.
Yes, yeah.
I called him, that's when he and I was still talking. Judge Black had called me one day, and she talked to him.
Is she back to work?
And so I called him, I said, man, please let Judge Black continue. I'm just with talk. We be going to talk. So, talk to us. I'm not a bad woman.
Okay. Go put that, telephone number up when we come back up. Oh, they got you working in there now?
Yeah. I only been here since 9 o'clock this morning, it's good.
Where Angel go?
She said she been here all day, so she gone home. I'm gonna leave the business there, but.
Well, that's what you do when you run the Empire.
All right, I'm getting ready to turn y'all mics on, please don't talk. 9 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show, and my guest is Sheriff Floyd Barnes. If you would like to speak with the sheriff, you got something you want to ask him, or you just want to say something, area code 901-231-9239. Area code 901-231-9239. The sheriff is here. Sheriff, that was a former employee, and I think he was in the juvenile court division, and now you maintain juvenile court as well, right?
Yes, the courtrooms.
The courtrooms. Who was speaking of the condition of some of the juveniles. Do you handle that?
We do handle the detention part of juvenile court. I don't know who that, I know his name, and some of the media here in town has been using him. I don't know when was the last time he worked for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
I think someone told me that he now lives in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Bigfoot, I missed your call, man. You can call back 231-9239. I was talking to the sheriff and I hit the wrong button. Area code 901-231-9239. You got a statement or a question of the sheriff, please call back. I saw my good friend Bigfoot call and I hit the wrong button, so you can call back. What is your ultimate goal in your first year as the sheriff? What's the biggest thing that you really want to see accomplished?
Well, yeah, I'm sure your listeners have been looking at what's really been taking up a lot of our time. Is talking about this new juvenile detention center.
Okay.
That's been, kind of on the front end of the stove this hot. The Mayor Harris has been talking about it along with myself, and I think I will be before the county commission next week talking about it as well. So it's really taken up a lot of our energy and time to try to get this new facility built. We'll be probably, going through all the things, the RFPs and everything that is required of us as far as the county is concerned. And hopefully.
Caller, hold 1 second, please.
Hopefully here in the next few months, you'll see us talking about it a lot over the next few months. But that's one of the big things that our kids, the kids down at juvenile court, they really need a new facility.
Okay. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Dad, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, I appreciate you changing the pace from the past couple of days. First of all, I want to congratulate the sheriff on being the elected sheriff of Memphis. or
Thank
Shelby
you.
County, so to speak.
Thank you very
But
much.
what I'd like to know is, why is the thin blue line among cops, such a hard thing for them to get by when there's a death, when they know they're wrong? And another thing I'd like to ask you, I'm gonna hang up, so you can answer.
I mean, what was, wait a minute, go back to to your original question, man. Why is what?
Okay, I'd like to know why the thin blue line among cops is more important than a death. You know, it's
All right,
hard to get anything
but,
out of
all right,
cops.
you got to define that, brother. You're saying, why is the thin blue line more important?
Okay, well, not the thin blue line, I'm sorry, the blue line, that's what I meant.
The who kind of line?
Like what I'm saying, like the killing in Chicago, the young guy that got killed.
So we're not talking about Chicago.
I know, I'm just.
We talking about, let's talk about Shelby County, brother.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
what's the issue that you want to talk about? I mean, cause the sheriff can't answer what's going on in Chicago.
Okay, I'm sorry, moving on from that. What I'd like to know is, do you think the Memphis and municipality needs, two police departments?
So are you saying, should law enforcement be consolidated?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's a fair question.
Hold on, just let me put, caller, I need you to hold on, okay? Caller, hold on and cut all that damn noise out in the background. Cut your TV down.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, now be quiet for a minute and let the sheriff answer that and I'll come to you. Go ahead, Sheriff.
Okay, I think the previous caller was asking about consolidation. I have mixed emotions about consolidation because I really think the public, really would need to be, educated on this. If we're talking about the sheriff's office only has 500 and, right now we have 562, 67 sworn officers.
Okay,
So a lot of times, you asked me a question earlier, did we have just as many as the Memphis Police Department does?
okay,
So what would happen in consolidation, we the consolidated law enforcement agency, would still have to police the unincorporated areas of Shelby County. They would still have to man the courts, they would still have to do all the functions that we normally do. So, when you talk about consolidation, maybe you should, it's something that the citizens would have to be, would have to vote on and stuff, but it's not gonna give you that huge influx of manpower that some people think.
but even, not to me, are we prepared for consolidation of law enforcement? Because you don't have enough officers to be able to police the city of Memphis.
Correct.
And the entirety of Shelby County. In consolidating, would we, see, I'm gonna hang up because I told you to be quiet in my background. Would you have to deputize police officers? Those who are police officers, in the whole picture of consolidation, would you have to deputize current police officers and make them deputy sheriffs, or how would that work if you did consolidate?
Well, I guess if you look at the Nashville Mall that has a metro police agency, right now, the way the Shelby County is set up is with the two forms of government. Technically, yes, I would have to deputize Memphis police officers. If it all just fell under one, then, I'm sure that they would rework the law where the sheriff wouldn't have to do that. It would just be one metro agency, if you will. There are some pros and cons to both, I think, to consolidation of law enforcement. Right now, we're not duplicating any services right now because, MPD as well as the other municipalities that have their own police agencies, you know, they stay within their jurisdictional
Boundaries.
boundaries, and we kind of stay within ours, if you will. Now, the sheriff's office is.
Hold a minute, Bigfoot. Okay,
The sheriff's office is different
okay,
in that we can police anywhere in Shelby County.
Okay.
You know, we don't have any jurisdiction boundary, if you will, so.
and one of the things, Bigfoot, hold just a minute if you don't mind. One of the things that I saw happen, and I didn't understand this until a few years ago,
Mhm.
that there were, let's say, Bartley police were looking for someone in the city of Memphis, and they went into a house in North Memphis, and got this gal, and there was this big uproar. I spoke to the then sheriff, who was former mayor, county mayor,
Mark Luxor.
Mark Luxor. He was sheriff then, and I found out that the sheriff has the power to deputize officers in the municipalities
Correct.
in the county and allow those officers to be able to come into the city.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Go ahead, Bigfoot.
How you doing, brother Dennis?
Hey, man, doing well.
Bonner,
Yes, sir.
it's good, Dennis. Glad to see you there, man. Sheriff Bonner, I want to congratulate you, man, and my prayers are with you because I know you being the sheriff is also a political seat that you're in also, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And I want to tell you that we are happy to see you in that seat, and I want you to be firm and stand on what you mean while you're in that seat.
Thank you.
I'm over here in Woodland Hills, right across from Lincoln Hall Elementary. And man, these sheriffs, they working out here. I'm gonna give you top hat off. They working out here. They don't care if you're white, black, blue, or whatever color you they working. But in the morning time, you have these school kids out here, man. You got some of these company trucks that's rolling through this school zone.
Okay.
You also work sometimes, but it be off and on. Can you tell them to pick up a little more out here, man, in that school zone? Because I'm gonna tell you something, brother Dennis. I don't care what they say about a Negro. A Negro know where to come to steal, because these Negroes is not coming out here too fast, because these sheriffs is waiting on you when you cross the line. So,
What school is in that area that you're talking about?
you got Macon
Macon
Hall.
Hall, yeah.
One of your top grade schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's right here, Macon Hall and Houston Lit.
Right. As a matter of fact, I'll be out your way. I'll be out your way tomorrow night at your neighborhood watch meeting.
Did you?
We'll be looking for you, because we up on it.
Well, you live,
Appreciate you all.
Foot. You live out there in that. You live out there in that high rent district, don't you?
Man, I can be over in North Memphis. Hey, you need to take some of them sheriff, put them over there in the freezer around my mama house. You can't keep a lawn going, rake or broom around it sometimes.
All right, Foot. Hey, get with me about that other matter that's going on with you. Okay.
What? That is, I got trial Monday. I got trial the 23rd, Wednesday morning with these crooks.
Okay. Let me know what happens, man. Thank you, man.
I love you, brothers, man.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah. So you all patrol in that area. So
Yes.
I guess we'll see an influx of sheriff's officers patrolling in that area around the school area in that's Cordova, isn't it?
Yeah, what some people call Cordova.
Is that unincorporated?
It's unincorporated, yeah. Macon Hall is one of our schools that we have officers, crossing guards as well as officers out there. Now, I tell people, when you pray for rain, you can't get mad if a little mud get put on you. Now,
Okay.
I hope Bigfoot don't come through their speed.
With all the big trucks and cars we got. Area code 901-231-9239. If I do not answer right away, you just have to call back. And you cannot have your TV or whatever it is that you're listening with up loud, because I'm going to hear it, and if I hear it, the audience is going to hear it. Area code 901-231-9239.
Anthony?
Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, I have a question. So say you're arrested and you might be in there for 2 or 3 days. What you do about it?
You don't get your insulin?
I'm talking about when you're in jail, this thing gonna be there 2 or 3 days, the person needs to take an insulin every day. How y'all go back doing that?
Do you, when you went in, when intake, did you go through the doctor? Did you see a doctor?
No, it wasn't me, I'm just asking a question.
Okay, all right,
I
I don't wanna be the expert on the jail. I'll let the sheriff answer that. So his question basically is, he says he's calling for someone else. If they're on insulin and they're in the jail, how do they receive their insulin shots or medication?
Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, when you first come in, you're seen by a nurse, you go through a medical screening, they
Uh-huh.
ask you all the things, the medications that you're taking, what you need, what we can provide,
Caller, hold on, please.
what we need to provide for you while you're in jail. So
Okay.
hopefully, if you're gonna be there for an extended stay, if you will, then we get that medication to you.
Because at the point that you enter the jail, and I hate to use this word, but you become really the property of the Shelby County Jail, right?
Right.
And it becomes your responsibility
It's our responsibility.
to make sure that all of the medical needs are met.
That's correct.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, how you doing, Thaddeus? How you doing, Sheriff?
Good.
I have a two-part question that I want to ask, and then I'm going to hang up. The first part of the question is, with there being a shortage of MPD officers, does that put a strain on you guys more? And the second part to the question is, what are you all doing different than MPD that is keeping officers on your end while officers are leaving MPD? I want to thank you guys for allowing me to ask this question.
Thank you so much.
Man,
Sure.
that's a great question. And Mike Rollins and I, we're always kind of joking with one another because we're fishing out of the same pond, if you will.
Okay.
You know, MPD is short, we're looking for a few good men and women, so are they. One of the things that before Commissioner Walter Bailey term was up, when I was the chief deputy, we had just started conversation about maybe trying to get the county commission to lift, the residency requirement.
Okay.
In other words, at least a 50-mile radius of Shelby County.
Okay.
So that would, where Memphis is strategically located, it'll put us, a little bit in West Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern Tennessee, and then a little over in Arkansas.
All right, Eric, be quiet for just a moment. Go ahead, Sheriff.
And so, we're fighting that battle each and every day, trying to retain our officers. We're trying to offer, have good benefit packages, good health insurance, good retirement packages, but, for some reason or another, young people today, police work is not.
Boy, I told you be quiet until I come to you.
Police work.
I'm sorry.
Police work is not as exciting to some as it used to be. The millennials are
Yeah.
choosing to do other things.
Mike Williams was here last night, and we were talking about the benefit package of the city of Memphis police officers and how insurance has been taken away and how the spouses of the city of Memphis police officers are no longer a part of their package. With the benefit package of the sheriff's department, are spouses a part of their insurance package?
Yes, and some of them are, but then we do have spousal carve-outs as well.
Okay.
So, everyone, I tell you, everyone is fighting that battle of
Okay.
benefit package. We see, Texas coming here from Dallas and Houston, recruiting our officers, and the young people that we may or may not be able to get to work for us are going there because the benefit packages are better. It's less time it takes to retire. The insurance is better.
Okay.
The salary, we try to maintain, we have to do salary studies every few years just to make sure that we're maintaining, with the size city that we are, the county we
Okay.
are, to keep these officers here.
Go ahead, Eric. Eric?
Listen to you, Sheriff, for being sheriff this year.
Thank you.
I want to ask you the question about citation.
Okay.
Can you explain that? Tell me the citation situation.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, we were talking about misdemeanor citations. Once upon a time, now since October, we've changed this. Once upon a time, when you were written a misdemeanor citation, you were given 2 dates. If you remember, or if you ever seen one that was at the bottom of the paper, one would tell you where to go to get processed, that fingerprinted and processed, and that's all you did that day. Then at a little further down the piece of paper, it would tell you what courtroom to be in and what day, what time to be in. So what we did back in October is in trying to alleviate or trying to get people from not receiving warrants, we cut out that process where it's one time. When you get a misdemeanor citation now, you come down, you get it all done in one day. That means you don't have to take off at work, because you think about it, that was creating a hardship in itself for people. You know, they're having to take off work twice to handle a misdemeanor citation. So that was one of the things that all of the criminal justice partners came up with, something that we thought that we could do better. At least if a person has gotten a misdemeanor citation, he can take care of it all. He or she can take care of it all in one day now, and I think it's a far better system than what we were doing in the past.
Is that it, Eric?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at somebody here on the Facebook page who's saying that, I was in there for 4 days and did not get incident. They could care less. How did you respond to that, Sheriff?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry that, first of all, that they were even in there, but to say that we don't care less, I mean, that's just not,
Hold call. Go ahead, Sheriff.
that's not, I mean, anyone that comes into our facility is, we care about each and every one of them. We certainly, if they have medical needs, we are attentive to that. I talked earlier about our accreditation, something that we're very proud of, and our medical staff was also a part of that accreditation process. So I don't know how they could have been there for 4 days and not received it. I don't know, I'm not diabetic, but if you didn't have an insulin shot in 4 days, I would imagine that that person would have been pretty sick. I don't know that for sure, but I just can't imagine us going 4 days without giving a person an insulin.
Okay, I think that person's saying that they're in Atlanta, so you're,
They're
not
Atlanta.
okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead, Carl.
Yes, sir. Sheriff, I'd like to ask you just one question.
Yes, sir.
What do you hope your legacy would be once you decide to, let's say, retire from the sheriff's department?
That's a good question, caller. I don't know right now, you know, what my legacy will be. I guess, you know, I'd like to think that citizens would see me as a fair man, a man that tried to do all he could for the citizens of this great county. You know, I grew up here. This is where I live. This is where I've gone to school and I've raised my sons here. So I'm connected to Memphis and Shelby County forever. I love Shelby County. So I don't know. I think it's maybe a little bit too early for me to start thinking about legacies. Heck, I'll be just trying to get through the days right now, you know. But it's something that I think about when I still can't believe that I'm elected. You know, some days I have to pinch myself to see if it's a dream. But it's a good question, and really, it'll be up to you. It'll be up to the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County, the kind of legacy that I leave behind. But you know, we'll be working extremely.
Not to bring up, you know, old stuff like that, but you know, compared to Marshall Trail and Jack Owens and all that, to me, those two, just speaking on those two, those were not legacies, not things that was left behind.
Well, you know, being at the sheriff's office for 38 years, you know, I've had an opportunity. When I came on the sheriff's office, Gene Barksdale was the sheriff. I don't know if you remember Gene Barksdale or not, but I've had an opportunity to work for a lot of sheriffs, and some that I thought did in some areas tremendous jobs, some not so, not so good a job. So I've had an opportunity to work under at least 5 different sheriffs. So I think, I'm my own man, I'm my own person, and I'd like to think that I'll remember a little bit from each one of them. And right now, I'm trying to be as visible as possible. I try to go. Right now, I'm not telling anyone no. And so, if people would like to see me come out and talk and just be there, I'm going. So, and I think that was one of the things that I talked about on Thaddeus show when I was running for office, community engagement. I think it's so important for me as a sheriff, especially being an African American, being out in the community and letting our children see, that, hey, I'm a kid that was born and raised in Orange Mountain, Westwood, and look where I could, if I did it, you can do it too.
All right, Cole.
So I just believe that that's just a good point. Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna take a commercial break here on the Thaddeus Matthews Show. We'll be back with Sheriff Floyd Barr right here in just a moment. In just a moment.
She said, hold on.
Huh?
She said, hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Huh?
Your phone number will come down.
Well,
We gotta keep talking.
that means we gotta keep talking, Sheriff. I was trying to get over my little coughing. But, we just go on a little bit further. You wanna get in? 901-231-9239. The Sheriff of Shelby County. Speak now or forever hold your peace. What is it that you would like to see the Shelby County Sheriff's Department do? We were talking about the juvenile court situation, and where's the new facility gonna be built?
Well, right now, they're talking about building it just west of the current juvenile court.
Okay.
They have, the county owns some property there. And some of it is occupied. I think the Attorney General's office owns some of that property. And so they're talking about adding on or going west.
Okay. So would it just be the detention?
Just detention only. That's all we're talking about, is just trying to build a new detention center. Place to, we hopefully have some outdoor space, so the kids can come outside. And right now, we have nowhere to bring those kids outside.
Okay, so in juvenile court now, none of the young people that's there come out?
Not at all. We have an indoor gym.
Okay.
That's the only recreational space that's there. But just like anybody, you want to come outside and you want to see the trees, the birds, the sky, or whatever. Put some grass under your feet every now and then. But right now, these children, and we have to always remember that these are children.
Okay.
They committed some serious crimes. There's no kids down in juvenile court that's down there for truancy or shoplifting, things like that. These kids have committed some serious crimes. So we're hoping to provide additional classroom space and for education as well as mentorship.
Caller, go ahead. Cut, oh, wait a minute, first of all, cut whatever it is that you're listening to, cut it all the way down. All the way down, brother. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeff, how you
Doing
doing?
good. How are you, sir?
I heard earlier that y'all gonna do some hiring around April.
Yes, sir. We will be trying to hire some deputy sheriffs, and hopefully that class is going to start April the 11th.
Right. I was just trying to see on the background, how far do y'all go back? Is it 7 years?
We go back all the way.
What's your background? You ever been to jail?
Yeah, I've been a misdemeanor though.
Misdemeanor.
Well, okay. If you have a misdemeanor and stuff, what you need to be doing is working to get that misdemeanor expunged.
Right.
You can get that expunged. You just have to go see an attorney.
Is there a college requirement?
No, it's not. No, it's
Okay.
not. It's not even a college requirement.
So you can come out of high
Out
school,
of high school.
okay.
Yeah, so.
You finish high, you finish high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school.
Okay, well, all right, well, if you got a diploma, go get your misdemeanor expunged.
If I go down to the 81 for that,
You gonna have to get you a lawyer,
Yeah, you're gonna get a lawyer.
you gonna have to get a lawyer to get it expunged, brother.
I so appreciate that, man.
All right,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Okay, all right, we're gonna get ready to take a quick break and we're gonna come back and we may have just a few more minutes for your questions of Sheriff Floyd Bond. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
I'm sorry to ask you, what kind of You'd be surprised, boy. And I got a buddy of mine that's a sheriff up in another county. He said, man, he got a friend of his that's got a felony. And want him to hire him as deputy sheriff. I said, man, I can't hire you as a felony. You know, that's too much.
You can't even carry a gun.
No, not at all. I tell you, boy, that hiring thing it's really become difficult to hire people now. I know Mike Rollins didn't talk about it all the time, and well, now we're starting to experience it.
Okay.
To-
Is it the accreditation, is that the biggest problem?
No, that is, I don't know what it is. You know, we running 20, what is it, 25, 26 in a class right now.
Uh-huh,
And we started off with 29. 3 quit before day one because they said that, no, I changed my mind, I don't want to do that. You know, it's the millennials, you know, these kids, now,
is, someone's texting me, is there a maximum age limit, for deputy sheriff?
it's not a maximum age, but naturally, we do send you to a physical exertion course. Now, if you know, for instance, if you're 55, 50 years old and you're in good shape,
Uh-huh.
you know, you probably could pass that physical agility test that we give you, on the pre-test. So, but no, we don't have, an age limit. Who's back to TV show, man? How many years have you been doing?
It'll be 6 years, 4th of February. Yep, 6 years.
You gonna keep going?
I'm trying to do something national, man. I ain't got nothing else to prove here.
Well, I think one day, I spoke, you were talking to somebody.
I'm working on some things, and you're always working on some things. But at my age, I gotta own what I do. You know, you can't take my skills and you own it,
Right.
or you own what I say, or you dictate to me. I know within limits, if you're paying me, there's some restrictions, but when you know, some subjects you gotta stay away from, you know, those are the things that you look for. This, you know, and a lot of these companies, things are so sensitive now in this country about certain subjects.
Mhm. Yeah.
But with God giving me a couple of $1 million a year more, I might can restrain myself.
I believe you can tame your tongue.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
get your big
Uh-huh.
break, see you on ABC.
Yeah. Steve Harvey's in this last year.
Is it really?
Yeah, with this show,
Oh, this show he's on.
Yeah.
So you want one of them 10:30 shows like Conan or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Rubbing elbows with the star.
Man. If the money don't go along with it, that don't mean.
Don't mean nothing.
Seconds.
Okay.
Turning on your mic, so don't talk.
Mm.
17 seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Thank you, and we're back. One of the questions that was, someone sent to me is about, the age limit of becoming a deputy sheriff. And we were talking off air, and you were saying that there's really no age limit,
No, sir, it's not.
long as you,
As long as you can pass the physical agility test, that's one of the pre-screeners that we have before in the hiring process.
and that consists of what? Running?
Running, jumping, pull-ups, chin-ups, you know,
So what do the fat deputy sheriffs I see do?
They
They done
took-
already
they
passed.
took the test many years ago.
Cause you got a couple, you got some guys, especially some of them guys as bailiffs, and I guess they don't have no real hard work to do. But it is the work of the bailiff, can that be a dangerous job?
Or it could be a very dangerous job. If you remember, it's not so long ago that we,
Mr. Morris, hold on just a moment, please, and be quiet.
just a few years ago, we just went to where, metal detectors, just to get in the building, you know?
Yes.
Remember, once upon a time, you could walk right into 201, right off the street, carrying anything you'd like. So,
Okay.
those bailiffs, when inside a courtroom again, you got ladies down there getting order of protections and
Okay.
all kinds of things going on. So you could imagine, it could be a pretty dangerous job, even working in the courtroom.
The sheriff's department has complete control of the 201 facility, right? It's owned by the county.
It's owned by the county.
Okay. All right, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank both of y'all for the work that y'all done. Real quickly, Sheriff,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to ask you a question. I'm 48 years old. Just currently got my armed license for security and handgun. I would like to apply for the sheriff's department. What would you tell a person like that?
That you just recently got your armed security license, is that what you said?
Yeah, but
Yeah, just go online. I mean, go online and apply. If this is the job that you think that you've always wanted to do, please go on and apply. Go under the job site under the Shelby County government. I think it's shelbycountygov.gov or shelbycountytn.gov, I think is the website. And go on the jobs and, you'll be able to apply for the sheriff's office as a sheriff deputy. If you don't wanna be a sheriff deputy, we would prefer to work in the jail. Some people don't wanna carry guns, but, apply there as well. We're looking for correctional officers. I'll try to hire at least 90 correctional officers in the calendar year of 2019 and 75 deputy sheriffs. So there's a lot of opportunities there for young people to you know, get involved or become a part of the sheriff's office.
my second part to that question, I'm 48. How would you apply that to? Do I need to apply? I feel like I'm in good shape. Okay.
Well, yeah, and like we were saying earlier, we don't have a cutoff age or anything. even you being 48, if you can run the mile in the required time and do the sit-ups, the chin-ups, all the things that we ask you to do in the pre-hiring screening, that because you're 48, it's not gonna hire you. You're old enough and mature enough that, I'm sure you'd like to kind of settle into a job here and just, kind of do your thing for the next 20 years.
You have to run the mile?
Okay, I'm not gonna hold up y'all time. I wanna say, I'm from Chicago real quick, and I wanna apply something.
Come on, brother. Thank you, here.
I appreciate you, Mr. Matthews.
Thank you, sir. You gotta run a whole mile?
Yeah. Oh, is it any other side of home?
Okay. And you have to run that mile in what time limit?
I think it's no, it's not 16 minutes. No, it's like 12, 13 minutes.
12 minutes?
Can you do a 12-minute mile?
No, sir.
Not even like
No,
got behind you.
no, sir. Oh, no. No. But if you're in good physical
Yeah,
shape,
if you're in good physical shape,
Yeah.
you can do it.
yeah, you can.
We have kids that's run miles in 5 minutes, But not these.
Run how many miles?
A mile
In 5
in
minutes?
5 minutes.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
I
Good to
guess-
be young, isn't it?
Can you still do it?
No,
Huh?
no.
Or you the boss, though, so you let the young fellas like Buck know that,
Young flat bellies.
yeah,
They can,
young guys like him that's in,
yeah,
good shape,
good shape.
yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you, Buckner?
39.
Oh, yeah, when I was 39, I could run a mile. I
You
could
sure?
at 39,
At 39?
at 39, but I'll be 62 in a few months.
But wait a minute now, I'll go along with you could run a mile at 39, but how long did it take you to run that mile?
Well, I wasn't timing myself.
I wouldn't talk about over a 2-day period.
All right, we've got just a few more minutes. If you want to get a question in for the sheriff, you need to call right now at 901-231-9239, because I'm gonna let the sheriff sum it up and what his plans are and what his goals are. And I guess we talked basically about that. Go ahead.
Yes, hello, Pastor Matthews, Sheriff Bonner. I was a jailer in the jail in '81, and my question is, did your wife work in the jail?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Wow, okay.
I actually met my wife before she came to work for Shelby County, but yes, she did work in the jail. She sure did.
I know her. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. And she's retired?
No, my wife left, the sheriff's office many years ago. My wife actually went on and worked for the federal government.
Okay,
And she just recently retired from there.
okay. Your father was with the sheriff's department?
Father was with the sheriff's office, he's with the Memphis Police Department.
Okay.
He's on the Memphis.
He's
Police
probably
Department.
watching you now.
Yeah, pop, hey, dad.
Yeah, and he seems so proud of you that on the night that you won.
Well, I'm very close to my father.
Okay.
I'm his namesake, and I have
Okay.
a son that's named after me
Okay.
and him. But we're a very close family, and I certainly appreciate all the life lessons that my father taught me. He's 84 years old now,
Okay.
and it's yes sir when he says something.
Okay. Go ahead, Carter. Make it quick.
Hi, Sheriff. Hi, Thaddeus. My name is Lawrence Fennell. I'm a deputy sheriff in North Carolina. And I was wondering, do you have a ladder transfer in your department?
Oh, what a great question. What a great question. No, we were doing lateral transfers about 2 to 3 years ago, and some of the county commissioners, cut it out. And, just for people like you that would like to relocate but not start at the bottom of the pay scale, I understand where you're going with that. But no, sir, we don't. It's something that I probably need to go back to this new commission and talk to them about. How many years you got on there in North Carolina?
I've been employed with the sheriff's department for the 10 years. I ran for sheriff, matter of fact, in this last term here in another county.
Okay.
And I'm just relocating.
All right, Colin, I got to go. Have you relocated, or when are you going to relocate?
Well, I have not relocated yet. I was just trying to check around, and
Yeah.
I've been following Sheriff Bone, and I've been very interested in maybe moving out towards Memphis,
Okay.
the area.
Well, if you do, just contact me and I'll put you in contact with the sheriff.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you so much, and y'all have a nice night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff, I'm running out of time. How would you like to sum up this night, and what would you like to say to the citizens of Shelby County?
Well, that's, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's just a pleasure to be here. It's always fun.
Thank you.
Fun to talk with you. And just wanted to come on and let the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County know where we are, what we're doing, and thank them for, again, giving me this opportunity to serve as your sheriff. We'll be making other adjustments throughout the department.
And I hate to work, but I've got about 1 minute left, and I wanted to throw this one in someone, and this is a police officer, and I know
Okay.
this particular person. Thaddeus Grayshow Love, Sheriff Ron, ask him what is his plans regarding Shelby County and Part 1 crimes, and what is his expectation for hiring police who would like to leave MPD?
Well, it kind of goes.
Give me the short answer too, so I gotta go.
That kind of goes back to what the other gentleman just called on, that lateral transfer. I tell you, that's something that I really need to talk to the county commission about. That is something really important. Not that we want to swap officers or anything, but there's police officers that cannot afford to take the pay cut.
Okay.
With 10 years on another agency.
My guest tonight has been Sheriff Floyd Bonner, and I told the sheriff we can do this every month. If you have concerns that's going on in the county with law enforcement, especially on the sheriff's department end, I'm inviting Sheriff Bonner to come back at any point every month if he'd like to, if there's a certain message he likes to get out. All right, thank you so very much for being here with me. I got to go. That's what the clock on the wall says. And Miss Debbie's saying in my ear. So I got to get out of here. Thank you so very much. We'll do this all over again tomorrow night. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Top of the evening to you. Oh. Did you get some good stuff, Brother Buckler?